Welcome. My name's Brian Knight, and I live near Melbourne in Australia, and it's just after 5 o'clock in the morning on a Monday for me. So it's about 4 hours or so before market opens. Uh, we trade the relaxed trading method, just different aspects of it or whatever. Um, and yeah, we'll just have a look at how the market was last week and potentially what there might be opportunities for this week. We will see. All right, let me just share this first. Welcome to this live Forex analysis session. Just note that any trades discussed in this group are to be classed purely as educational only. That's because we're a group of people helping each other and we are not financial advisors. Um, there is a full risk disclosure and a bit about us as live session traders. Rightio, let's just jump across onto the charts. We'll start going through the pairs and have a look and see where they're at and what's happened. So, um, this is AUD CAD. Got there. Let me just. I will tell that we're not waiting for a short. Um, so, um, since the 13th or 10th, 11th, 13th of January, push up, came back to the middle, pushed back up again, sort of matched up the high, and has come off. It hasn't made the outside of the rail yet. It may push from here and back up. We'll just wait and see. There's a little bit of Canadian news going on there. Um, the this is GDP growth. It was 2.2, forecast 1.9, but it went to 2.6. So a little bit different to what the market expected. What's the Aussie stuff got? RBA minutes, who cares? Yeah, okay, we've got quarter growth, and this one is balance of trade. Okay, there's a little bit more Canadian balance of trade stuff. And what's that one? Unemployment rate. Okay. There is just on the outset of this session and this week. So there's a few international things that occurred on the weekend. Oh, sorry, on the end of last week and over the weekend, some talks and that. So I expect the market to maybe be a little volatile when it opens. So we'll see what happens with if there are any gaps in the market or that sort of thing occurring. Um, for example, Canada's sort of with the European Union and England basically, or UK, in support for Ukraine. So we'll just see how all of this plays out. Um, Interesting. Okay, so I need it to be sort of closer to the outside edge. It did come 3/4, so I'll just talk about that later. We'll just see. Um, anyway, uh, right. ADCHF, same sort of thing, hasn't come to the outside of the rail, sort of pulled back in the last day, but the last week was a sell-off of the Aussie dollar against the Swiss franc. You can see against the CAD as well, but that's only, like 3 days. All right. So again, not a potential trade because we want it in some sort of extreme, even though that was 3/4 and then we got a trend bar change. Actually would have been a good trade. Well, like we'll just and say at 3/4. Anyway, I'm just sort of looking at how some of these things go. ADJPY pulled down outside the rail. We've got a green triangle. We'll see. I didn't take one there. The green triangle disappeared from here. we'll just see what happens with some of the news that comes up. Consumer confidence with Japan, and it's been sort of in a downtrend for a while. You'll see across to here, even there's a fair bit of potential drop, big spike there, and then push back up. So I'm not too keen, but then again, this is a mechanical trading. We will see. Okay. AUD NZD. Yeah. In the middle again, push back up. There's nothing there for me to actually see something from this mechanical sort of trading strategy to actually trade it. Audio, AUD and Singapore. Again, Aussie dollar drop off, made 3/4, did a short. Just got to notice some of this. Anyway, we'll see how some of that plays out. That's coming toward the other side of the rail. We'll see if we get a push back up or not. Right, Aussie dollar against US, it's pulled off as well. Now it didn't quite make the outside of the rail. It did make 3/4, and then it changed trend bar. So again, it's something that I'm looking at. I'm like, that would have been a good trade. That's made 3/4. That's a trade, right? For me anyway. And if I look at it like from a short position, that trend bar change, say you only got in somewhere there maybe, and you put a stop there, and it made 3/4, still 2%. Right. So I'm just looking at that sort of type of trade as well. Yeah. You don't know. I mean, it could just do this and then come back again, but you need to have a couple of candles in that direction. All right, KCHF. Now, the reason why there's a pink label on there is because it was coming close to the outside. It's now just sort of like playing around here. It hasn't come to the outside edge. So even though, again, it's made 3/4, if that's half and that's full, then made 3/4. Just if this changes to green on the trend bar, then I may be looking at getting the trade, even if it doesn't come out here or doesn't give us a triangle. We'll see. All right, CAD-JPY, that definitely has come out. It has given us a green triangle. There's no trend bar change. So I'm just going to I'll sit and wait. If I get a green trend bar change, I'll look at getting into a buy on it. I mean, CAD has been selling out for a while, particularly against the Japanese yen. Okay. CHF JPY, I'm in this for a buy. Got another green triangle. We've got this sort of playing around for last week. I got into it there somewhere. I'm in significant drawdown, but we'll see. See what happens with it. Okay. And that green triangle stayed there. So that's when I got in, when it changed trend bar here. Yeah. Anyway, let's look at the Euro AUD. All the euros. Euro AUD is pushing up nicely. That would have been the 3/4 and the change. That would have been a good trade in that too. Anyway, it's made it to 3/4. So we'll just see what happens with it, whether we get a red triangle or not. If it changes and pulls back and gives me red, then I might get into that. We'll see. Euro CAD. Again, here we are in this sort of situation, made 3/4, but we've got this push down. Now, if we get a change in the trend bar, I may even get into the sell on it. We'll wait to see. Okay. What's the euro doing over here as well? Inflation rate will just stay the same. Okay, good. Oh, oh. So there is a decision by the Euro to potentially drop their interest rate from 2.9 to 2.65, 0.25 basis points. Okay. Or 25. Oh, yeah. Oh, just watch that one. And definitely something here to potentially have a look at. Right. Euro CHF. Okay. Not something there at the moment. Euro GBP. Right here. Here we go. So this has got a pink on it because it has come to, it's near the outside edge. So we're looking at potentially a green, it's coming down to this little, a green triangle for a push back up again. We'll see. All right, Euro JPY is one that I was in. It was a green triangle. It came back. It knocked me out. So we've got another green triangle, another green triangle. We don't have any trend bar change yet, but it's potentially close. We'll see. All right. Welcome, Darren.
Brian,
How are you?
I'm all right. Just bear with me, I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, no worries at all. Polar bear or grizzly bear? Right. Um, yeah, no worries. So that's Euro JPY. We've got to look at that for whatever. Okay. Euro NZD. It's just like the AUD, Euro AUD. It's sort of pushing back up. We're going to see whether turn, whether it comes to the outside, that and that. They're just basically copycats, all right? Euro Singapore. This has been doing this weird sort of push down back to the middle, push down back to the middle all the time since November last year. Not something to trade at the moment. Euro USD. Um, that also interesting. It changed at that point. I'll put this on here to watch. And look, yeah, it has at the moment, it's like 0.3%. But if it makes it to three quarter, there'll be a percent out of it. So I don't know if you remember, but I put this on my Friday last week, and just see if that's three quarter and it changes, whether it's three quarters again. So bouncing from there to there to there to, that sort of thing. All right. Now the GBPs, there's a few here to look at that are playing at the moment. Or
Sorry, I was late on the call, Brian. I'm just
you're okay, Darren.
out. Only just got in. So,
You got a life, mate. That's how it works. That is how it works. Right now, GA is looking very nice. It's pushed up outside the rail. See now that it's making rockets and bullets and sending people over to Ukraine, or I don't know whether that's happening yet, but um, you know, I'll tell you what, it's been a very interesting end of last week
oh gosh,
to the
yeah.
weekend. How's a but I think there's like this is the disrupting. Yeah, I was reading well, I saw the little speech by the Danish Prime Minister. Um, it was that was the meeting in England, was it?
Yeah. It's ongoing.
Oh, it's ongoing at the
Ongoing, hasn't it?
moment.
This weekend, like a summit, of European leaders.
Yeah, it's still Sunday, isn't it, over there? So
Yeah.
yeah, there's probably
Zelensky's meeting the king today. He's doing that at the minute. Uh,
wow. Okay.
no, it was not a good look. That I found it quite upsetting, really, seeing that sort of treatment of him. This seemingly. you know, almost supporting a dictator and a warmonger like Putin, and then treating a democratically elected president who's desperately trying to defend his country,
I know.
just humiliate. To me, they just look like they were deliberately just trying to humiliate him. And
Yeah.
I presume it's to get him to sign this. It's just pressurising him to sign
Well, I don't think he will.
this deal. Well, I don't, and
He
that's
doesn't
why
have to, does he?
I think that's why they laid into him. He probably told them before that. Or give indications before that he wasn't going to sign it
Hmm.
without guarantees, security guarantees.
Yeah. I saw a friend of mine posted and said, oh, at 9/11, there was 160 or so countries that helped out the US after, all of that, using, with aid and investigation, all of that. None of them
Yeah.
have asked for their money back,
No.
you know. I tell you what, they got short memories, haven't they?
Yeah. I mean, if they, if America's sort of doesn't want to keep pumping money into Ukraine, that's one thing. I can understand their argument for that they don't want to keep doing it, but it's just the whole way they're going about it. It's just
Yeah, but you got to
quite
remember,
shameful, really.
him and Vance are talking to their base.
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah.
They're just talking to their base, not. But it's amazing how many Americans have come out and said, "Well, hey, this is not the whole country."
No, that's right. No, I
Half
mean,
of the country,
I've read
still.
people who've said they've never felt so ashamed to be an American after
Yeah,
seeing that. There's quite
yeah,
very divided country now.
yeah,
But it's the misinformation as well. The the figures they just threw out there, and I think it was what they did throw out there, 350 billion we've
yeah.
put in, but what I was reading, that's incorrect. It's
Yeah, no, no,
180 something billion, which is still a vast amount of money, but
yeah. But
it's it's not
whether that
350, it's
actually.
180, 180.
Yeah, but whether that's actually all gone there or not, that's the thing.
Yeah,
They're counting stuff that they've used for their own to
yeah,
pay
that's
their
right.
own military for the
Right.
investigate. It's like he hasn't really got that much that's actually hit on the ground in Ukraine
Well,
too. So,
and they
but
put
it's
200 billion in more than Europe, and that's been fact checked, and that's incorrect. Europe's overall slightly more than the US. I mean, I'm not
mm,
suggesting 1 minute it's not a vast amount of money they put in there,
no.
but they just exaggerate it just to and people just take it at face value, don't they? Assume it's correct.
Well, the base
I
does
think quite a lot
anyway.
do.
Then people fact check it and something comes out.
Yeah,
I mean, it is after the event, but look, I agree with you, Darren. I just went like, this is. I mean, it's for the American people to decide on all that, but I think there
yeah,
will be, uh, there's going to have to be a bit of a freezing out goes on. I mean, Canada's like,
yeah,
there are a few Canadians that are against what Canada's doing, but it looks like Canada's pretty well in it for the long term at the moment. Here in Australia,
yeah,
our Prime Minister said, we're as long as it takes, we're here for them. So
yeah.
I mean, we haven't given that many billion into it. So supplying equipment and stuff, we're sending some tanks over at the moment that we're not using anymore. And we've sent over what are called Bushmasters they make here.
Yeah,
So they're like personal carrier, so like big
yeah,
little troop carrier type things. Protect. I mean, and the drones, lots of different bits and pieces. But so I'm just watching a little bit of the sort of the summit, Europe. They basically have to, well, really, they have to step up more and be proactive. I mean, to be honest, I think all the reports I've seen, Putin's basically on his knees, and the country basically is financially starved. They just
yeah,
need to go in and knock it on the head. I mean, just finish it off. And
yeah,
look, if they collectively all got together and went, or the ones that want to agree did that, then I think it would be, yes, there would be a fairly substantial sort of fight go on for a short period of time. But I think Russia would have to pull back pretty quick.
Yeah. I mean,
Anyway,
they could end it, just pull out of Ukraine, but they're obviously not going to do it. But they could bring it to an end now, couldn't
no,
they?
no. He's not likely to. No, again, um, it's like an individual person. I mean, this is Putin. What you've lost. I suppose he doesn't care though. But what you lose, you just don't want to give up. Like you've lost people in the what he's done to gain what amount of ground he has at the moment of Ukraine, and because of loss, then you don't want to give up. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But I think that Russia is, or that authoritarian state needs to be shown the door. That like I'm not, I'm the other side of the world down underneath.
Yeah.
We've just got Chinese warships, going
Yeah.
between us and New Zealand, chucking out
Yeah.
live fire and then going around the country having a bit of a look-see,
Yeah.
which is all right.
Yeah.
We've got our own sort of things going on. But anyway, so we'll just see what the summit brings out, whether, they actually do something
Yeah.
meaningful. But I
Yeah.
tell you what, yeah,
Strong push up though from EBPAUD. It's been, hasn't it?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Well, the RBA,
absolutely.
it's coming up, and what else?
And the GN then too. Well, GN will be exactly the same.
Yeah.
Push back up to outside. So we're just gonna, that's the thing, the British pound. I was just saying before you came on, there may be some, jumps in the market after what happened on Friday
Yeah.
and the talks over the weekend. So there may be the market may be a bit jumpy. We'll
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
when it opens anyway. So that's GA. You and I are both looking for some sort of a turn here and push back down again after it sort of played around in the middle there. GCAD, I was just talking before, Darren, too, about me taking some three-quarter trades inside and anyway, well, just
Yeah.
talking about that sort of thing. If I go back, Euro USD was the one. And remember, I said if I had taken it here when the trend bar changed, it has gone down a bit. It would be 1%, but we'll see if it goes further to make that three-quarter. All right, GCAD, we've got it's up outside now too, waiting for red, waiting for trend bar and a sellout. If it does, it's just the British pound's pretty strong. It could just keep pushing up a bit. We'll see.
Bit of Canadian news. What's this coming up? Growth.
Yeah, there's a fair bit of Canadian coming up, which is well, GDP growth. That's what I'm saying. It was previously 2.2. They were forecasting 1.9 and went to 2.6. So
Yeah.
that was a bit of a kick. Anyway, GBP CHF in the middle, nothing there to really be concerned with. GJ, there, if you remember, I got into that trade somewhere here. It's pulled back again, hasn't come to the outside. It has pushed up a little bit. I think came up into break even, but then it sucked back at the end of the week. So still in negative on that. GN coming outside, wait for that British pound to weaken off, others to strengthen for it to sell.
Well, this was a
GBP,
loss. This is one I took under the old rules, but under the new rules, it would have got out at the three-quarter mark, and I had one trade hit the three-quarter, and the other would have been a break even. But this was one I took under the old rules, and
you left it?
and it's just stopped me out. Yeah,
Bugger.
yeah, just a full. Yeah, but
Oh, you didn't?
it's a good example.
Oh, because you weren't. Oh, you didn't take it. You didn't, because this was in January. Oh, no. Didn't we?
December.
Didn't
Uh,
we introduce the sort of the new rules around middle of
well, this
January?
was beginning of January. They took this. I think it was about the 3rd of Jan, 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, yeah, this one here was, yeah. But wouldn't you have
Um,
made a decision to take half profit there at that point? No, you didn't.
no, it was after that. It sort of
Yeah, okay.
there
Oh,
and
my memory of where we've been talking about this is a little bit hazy. So yeah,
yeah,
no, so that stopped you out. Bugger.
no, it was. But yeah, no, it's a good example of how the new rule
Oh,
would work, and that would have been a actually that would have been quite a good decent trade. So if I
yeah.
don't have a look now, we got in on the 3rd of January, so that would have been sort of at least 1%
Hmm.
on one of the positions, and the other one would have been a break even.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
So
Oh
so it's a
well.
-1% loss under the old rules, would have been +1 under the new
Under the
rules.
new. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay. All right, GBP and Singapore. Now it's pushing up. That's made the 3/4, didn't it?
yeah, it did. Yeah, yeah,
And you had two trades on that. So you've got
yeah,
one that's closed out at whatever percent, and the other
yeah,
one to go up to the rail.
yeah,
Okay, see how that goes. So GBP USD. Oh yeah, you got your 3/4 and you touch the base. Now, for
yeah,
me, this is
yeah.
see, I'm a little sus at this now. So this one's an interesting circumstance. Do I get into the sell because it hasn't made the outside of the rail yet, or is this just a pullback before it pushes back up again? So it's made the 3/4, it's made the rail, but it hasn't come outside.
So he touched that rail. I think it's probably going to go a bit further up, and then
Yeah, you're saying that. Yeah. Okay.
well, the pound's strong at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but it can turn at any time. Like if England decides that it's going to do some different things, it might even surge further. You're right. It just depends. So what's your supreme leader saying? Have they reported what he said he's going to do or not do, or because he
No, they
committed
mentioned that there's
peacekeeping
some kind,
peacekeep
some kind of plan that they're going to take to Trump now, so they can get him on board. I think that's the. Not quite sure what the plan entails, but
really? I don't know why they're stuffing around. I just cut him out.
well, too much at stake in the economy. Stan was desperate to get the economy growing. It's just stagnating at the moment. So
Well,
for political reasons, he needs a well for the economy he needs a deal with America. Yeah,
well, I don't know
instead of
about
getting
that.
hit
I
with a
don't.
tariff.
But yeah, but everyone's going to have tariffs, so I don't know whether
Well,
you'd
no, I
be
think
doing.
I think what Trump was saying, he thinks there's a good chance there won't be any need for tariffs with Britain. We're close to
Really?
a deal, close to a deal apparently, yeah, a trade deal. He said
And what are you going to do?
said
Send
Stan was
over
a
send
Stan
over
was a good
rain?
negotiator.
You're going to send rain over, or is that the
I don't know. I don't know what they get from. I think it's. I don't know. I don't know what we export to America, but apparently we do.
okay?
I think they get steel from us. I think, and then I think most of it's sort of services,
Yeah.
AI stuff like
Well,
that. It's all stuff like that.
where do they get the iron ore from to make steel?
But I don't know. I don't know
Yeah. Okay.
about the industry
Interesting.
really.
And
Yeah,
then you have to have coal to be able to
yeah,
melt anyway. Process. All right, well, we'll just see what happens there. Yeah, so Stoma. But if the UK basically says, "Oh, we're just going to make a whole lot of rockets and armaments and bullets," I mean, that'll make an industry, won't it?
yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what's
So
been that's what's stopped the Russian economy from, I think, imploding, hasn't it? The
yeah, the armaments, yeah.
yeah, producing armaments. That's kept it sort of kept it off the floor, but yeah.
Anyway, all right then. It was very interesting. I watched, I think it was on Friday night after, or Saturday, might have been Saturday sometime anyway. I watched a little, well, it was an hour long anyway. It was about the history of Germany and Hitler and how Hitler actually came to power and all the sort of the interactions. And I'm just watching this going, oh my God, this is just, the US is just out of the Hitler book. It's
Yeah,
just, you had people dobbing on people and
yeah,
and putting them into concentration camps and you had this sort of like internal army and it was and then they were more powerful than the actual German army and then it's like then the SS and it was like oh my God, just and I'm thinking about it from a US perspective. It's just copying exactly this crazy person.
well, Hitler became popular initially because of what he did with the economy. That's so he got, but obviously he had a more sinister mode plan going on in the background. But that was what
Yeah,
that's
but there
that
were
helped
all
him
these.
initially to become popular. Because he
Yeah, but
turned the
there
economy
was
around.
also this undercurrent of race as well, though.
Yeah,
He had that, and then it became more prominent and more prominent. I mean, Trump's doing the same thing. It's like, oh no, we
yeah,
only want, you know, white Americans. Everybody else, we're going to send them back home and out, and like it's
yeah.
just like such out of the same playbook, just the same playbook. It was disturbing to watch, actually. But anyway, so. Um, Well, GU, I'm just a little anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. I'm just going to put a short on there, for example, that, and then go there, and then see what would a three-quarter be, nearly 2%. So if it doesn't go back out, this is an opportunity to get into a sell. For me, the trend bar has changed. I mean, I know it can change back again. But there's been a series of, same sort of thing there. It might be a couple and then go back. So I'm just wanting to observe it at the moment. I'm not saying I'm going to get into the sell, but there are examples. Anyway, NZDs. So here's another example. Do I get into that? I look at it already. That already made it down to 1.2. If it makes it three
Yeah.
quarter, if we get a little bit further push, that would have been a good example of a sell, and it's nowhere near the rail and nowhere near the other
Mm.
rail. These are some of the things I just wanted to
Yeah.
show you. Well, they're for me, but I'm sort of showing you what's also going on. Rightio, enter DCHF. There you go. That would have been a winner.
Yeah.
All right. There's there's that percent. It's even gone further, but that would have been a winner on that one. So that's why I'm looking. See, it went to three quarter and then it's dropped off, gone down to three quarter the other way. So these rails are great for extremes, but there is stuff that happens in between. NZDJPY. I was in this. There was a green triangle. It came up. It took me out. It's come back outside, waiting for another green triangle. We will see. NZD Here's another example, three quarter to three quarter, bang, profit. There's 2% in that trade, just from a trend bar change. Then a short came in. I would have taken it there after the trend bar change there. Like that candle, that one probably got in somewhere there, bang, there's 2%. I didn't take it, but I'm just saying, here's an example of how it could work. Right, into DJPY, where I got knocked out. We've got another green triangle. We've got another, buy candle back up. Just got to wait and see what happens here. I did get it, but it didn't make the 3/4, and it just came back and stopped me out. Two trades
Yeah.
on that one.
Same here. Yeah.
Right, UCAD. Woohoo! Took the trade here. When trend bar changed, it gave me the 3/4 already profited out.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm waiting for it to go to the other side of the rail.
Yeah.
Right now, my second trade is at break even, so it really doesn't matter. What I might do, it depends after market opens. I may move my stop profit to, just under this candle. So I have a little bit of profit in there. We'll just see. Okay. I'm just going to try and track it up to just get some profit out of the second trade if
Yeah.
it doesn't make it to the rail. Because currently the TP's at the rail. And the stop loss is at break even, but I want to try and bite a little bit more out of the second trade, not just leave it dormant, if that makes sense. USD Now, hang on, what have I done? Have I gone? No, I didn't get into that yet. Okay, well, there you go. I did get into this though. Anyway, so this is potential trade, this one. I've got to look at this when market opens, see where if it pulls back a bit before it comes back up. But this is again a 3/4 change trend bar on this one, push up. Now it doesn't say it's not going to pull back, but we'll just see. They could pull back and then just go back to the rail, but it may not. It may just keep pushing back up. Yeah, it's made it to here, one of my
Yeah.
previous sort of lines, and now it's pushed back up to here. All right. Sorry, you were going to say?
No, no, no. Sorry.
No? Okay, good.
In the throat, that's all.
Here's 3/4. USD JPY. Now it's going out. We've got a trend bar change. Do I get into that trade? Right? That's the question at the moment. All right. I did before and it chucked me out real quick. Now I've got trend bar change. I'll just see what happens when the market opens. But the triangle here disappeared. Like the bar, as the bars came down, triangle disappeared. If the triangle had disappeared, really what I should have done is got out of the trade before it actually came to the stop loss. But anyway, that's where it's at. I've got to notice this trend bar changing once I get into the trade. Okay, USD Singapore, I'm in this. I got in on
Yeah.
that candle
So am I.
somewhere. It's pushing up. You got the
Yeah.
long. I'm in a bit of
Yeah, I'm in
positive
it.
at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two trades, first TP's at 3/4, second at rail, but then I'll move to break even. Rightio. Gold. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in it.
Gosh.
I got in it.
You got in it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So a bit of profits at the moment. Two trades I've got running on this one.
Mm. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens when the market opens.
It's going really well, and then it sucked right back up. But at one point on Friday, I was well in profit.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about some of the statements from the Canada, from Trudeau and stuff, and other parliamentarians.
Yeah.
I think they're going to try. Well, if America does what it's going to do with tariffs, they're just going to try and freeze them out. We'll see. Yes, they got no friends at the moment. I tell you what, they did Zelensky and the rest of the world a favor, didn't they?
Who did?
Trump and Vance. They're all sort of bound together now and gone, God, if you're going to be a bunch of dickheads, then we're just going to go off and be civil on our own.
Yeah.
I think it's also too, I mean, the US pretends to a certain extent. It's a bit like what Russia does,
Yeah,
pretends it's so mighty, but what's the saying? The emperor has no clothes. When the
yeah.
push comes to shove, do they have what it takes? They got stuff, but really, if China says, "Oi, we're going to have a bit of a go," then they're talking about like um,
Well, Zelensky made a comment, didn't he? I know. I think one of the difficulties is English isn't
yeah,
perfect, is it?
yeah,
So some
yeah,
things
yeah,
don't quite come through correctly or get misinterpreted. But he made the comment
yeah.
that you've got the ocean, big ocean between you and Europe, but you will feel it. You
Yeah.
are going to feel it eventually
Yeah,
somehow. You try to make a point.
don't tell me what we're gonna
Yeah,
feel.
I thought that was an odd reaction, just
Oh
ridiculous
no,
reaction.
he's just a bully, just an absolute bully.
But I think he's right. There will, there will,
Oh
there will,
yeah, no, 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 no,
there
no,
will be
that's right.
repercussions.
And then
Falling out with all your allies, there are going to be
yeah.
repercussions.
Well, the Allies tell you that stuff's going to happen in your country. Like if your own intelligence doesn't pick it up, you'll get and the other country will say, well, we won't tell you when people are going to bloody give you a hard time. So
Yeah,
stuff it, you're on your own.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, there'll be a bit of stuff coming out. Anyway, let's see how this goes. What have we got? If we look at the short on that one, even if it's right at that point, you would have got in further up probably.
Yeah.
And if we put up the stop loss up there, all right, and that at 3/4, we'll just see. We'll see what happens. Okay, and silver, it's come off as well. That would be he never made it to the outside, but that would be a good trade as well, I think. Bitcoin's back up to 92. Ooh, look at the little surge on that. Maybe they need a bit of Bitcoin to. Oh, I heard some report that apparently North Korea is one of the biggest, the biggest scammies. Well, they went into Binance, I think, or something, and then stole I don't know how many billion, a couple of billion Bitcoin. And then, yeah, you can trace it. But the point is, apparently, you have to have it in one single place for a period of time in the system because every Bitcoin can be tracked and traced, apparently, right? But they were talking on the radio saying that it has to actually be held in one place for a period of time. And what these
Yeah,
buggers do is they just keep moving it around and moving it around and moving it
yeah,
around. So it's not in one place long enough for them to actually lock it up and then take them to court over it.
yeah.
So anyway,
Do you trade Bitcoin then, Brian? Or
I have in the past, but no, I don't at the moment.
I've never traded it at all.
It's crazy to trade.
Yeah,
Crazy to trade. When you get into a trade, you're buddy hundreds of pips in drawdown straight away. Bang. It's a massive. It's very interesting to trade. But anyway, so where's your oil? Oh, oh, we've dropped off a bit more.
a bit of a
Starting to dance
pullback
around.
last
Yeah,
week,
yeah.
but
Well, yeah,
just
needed a
needs
bit.
a bit of a push. Couple of days this week, a push and
So this was in
get to
the
the
new
side.
rules. This was new rules, wasn't it? You
Well, it was
profited.
hybrid, so it was only 1%,
Ah, okay,
one
okay,
percent
hybrid.
split. But I've taken
Yeah,
half
yeah,
out.
yeah, 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 yeah. And you're
Yeah,
waiting for the rest of it to go to the outside,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then we might apply new rules for the journey back up if it
But
unless we've got
two 1% positions on this would have been fantastic right now.
yeah,
With the
yeah,
tighter stop loss, don't forget as well. So with the
yeah,
stop loss, it's going one candle back now.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So that would be
That would have been enormous.
yeah,
This is a drill baby drill moment.
yeah.
Huh?
Thanks to
Well,
Donald.
it might just keep dropping down and down and down and down and down.
So what would that be under the new rules? Having a quick look now, just above the
Yeah,
previous
sure.
candle. Um, so that would have been a sort of 3%,
Yeah,
three quarter.
yeah,
And And the second position, if it goes all the way under new rules, would have been sort of more like 4.5%
Yeah,
talking, sort of
pretty
8%, aren't you? On
pretty impressive, isn't it?
yeah. And you think that more than makes up for the JPYs, all those
Yeah,
JPY losses
yeah,
offset with one successful,
yeah,
potentially unsuccessful trade like that. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, good.
Mm. I think I don't know. I just think the stock market's going to start to feel this. I think we're going to start to see a bit of a crash potentially.
Yeah,
Not
it's
say
been
I
pushing
won't,
up for
but
a while, hasn't it? But I think you're right.
ah, and I think the
Due
US
for a
tech stuff,
correction, I think. Overdue for a correction,
yeah, it's going to
what
be
they
a
call
bit,
it.
going to be crazy, crazy. But anyway, all right. I think that's about it for us. Yeah. We'll see what happens when the market opens, what sort of gaps or jumps there might be.
Yeah.
It may not. I mean, it just depends. There is a lot of turmoil. There's, tariff potentials being thrown around. There's all the rest of the stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the US people are going to come in for a bit of a hard time, I think. I think there's all the layoffs, and I think a lot of other countries, if there's tariffs, I mean, particularly Canada. I was listening to a thing they were talking about what's Canada going to replace their trade with the US, and it's a lot more expensive to send their stuff to Europe, but they've already got agreements with Europe,
Yeah.
um, so they'll just divert stuff rather than just driving it across the border into the US and supplying them. They'll ship it over to Europe, um, and the US can go without.
Then sort of there was chat about reading about sort of JD Vance potentially. He could be a front runner president when Trump does.
Well, that's what he's trying to do, trying to
Yeah.
put himself in that position. So.
I'm I've heard a few people say he's worse than Trump. Apparently.
Trained by Trump.
Well, I was speaking to my mum and friends of hers who've been on a cruise
Yeah,
earlier recently. There were some Americans on the cruise, and Donald Trump came up on the TV or something, and we're talking about it. And these Americans said, "Well, if you think he's bad, wait till you see JD Vance."
yeah.
That was their comment. So
Yes.
that's
Mm.
quite a scary thought if he's even worse than Trump.
Yeah, like, again, just watching this thing about Hitler, it was straight out of the playbook.
Yeah.
Straight out of the playbook. It was interesting. Yeah, people dare challenge the regime, but it was very interesting. Uh, yes, and the true. Well, I think the whole thing's it's just for the true believers, and that's it.
True believers just will never, not you would never be able to dissuade most of the true
No,
believers.
and that's okay.
They're just sort of almost brainwashed now into believing everything that comes out of
Almost.
Trump's mouth. Almost.
The- they're in the they're drinking the Kool-Aid, mate. Drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. There's a few dissenters, isn't there, amongst the Republican sort of senators, but not many, not many, because
They're in fear.
yeah, it's their own, they don't want to lose their own position, so
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
just
yeah.
go with just go with it.
With the crazy man.
Uh,
Okay. Oh
While he's
I,
got a call at 8 o'clock, he's launching his new gold thing, eight
yeah,
o'clock UK time.
I'll be
Yeah,
driving the bus. That's the only problem. Hopefully I'll get there might be a link of it for me in Telegram. I can watch it
Yeah,
after.
I think there will be. Put a link in there. Yeah, so I'll look at
Hmm.
that. I did ask him about it. It's shown how it did fantastic January. How it sort of done 50% or something in
Oh
January.
yeah, but you could
Yeah,
see
yeah.
the long
He
runs.
did say, "Oh yeah, it works really well in a trending market, not so well in a ranging market. In a trending market,
Everything does well in a drifting
yeah,
market.
yeah,
It's like once you're on a trade and it keeps going, well, it's a beautiful day.
yeah, yeah."
As soon as it starts doing this, it's not a good day.
No,
Right.
so anyway, we'll
All
see.
right.
We're going to tune into that and see.
Yeah, yeah. If there's any info and stuff, well, anyway, I'll hopefully I'll get to watch thing and
Yeah,
we'll just see how we go. But yeah, no, I think he's quite good on gold, and if he's got something that will work well with it, then
yeah.
yeah, I'm sort of would be on board with it, but we'll just see.
Okay, doke.
All right then, no worries. Take
Okay,
it easy.
thanks a lot,
I'll be
Brian.
back on tomorrow, and we'll see some of the others, and I'll look at opportunities I may be taking that are sort of out of your range, but we'll see how we
Yeah,
go.
yeah. No, I'm keen to. Well, I'm not going to jump in at the moment, but I'm going to watch what you're doing on
Hmm.
those sort of 3/4 trades. It'll be
Well,
interesting.
I've got to wait till the market opens today and see if there's
Yeah,
any gaps and stuff and where things are at.
yeah.
But we'll see.